What is up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for clicking on this episode. Before we dive into it, I kind of want to give you guys a little warning about this series. This warning may not be about this show specifically, but throughout this whole series, there will be some talk about some mature content, whether that be suicidal thoughts, actions, drug abuse, just some small, stupid petty crimes. But if you guys are listening to this with your kids in the car or, earshot of a kid, I would be careful. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing and you shouldn't do it. You can do whatever you want. But just be ready to have some conversations with your kids and, just talk to them. And if you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, actions, substance abuse, or if they think they're just in a crisis, please reach out to 988. That is the suicidal and crisis hotline. If you're worried about a loved one, if you're worried about yourself, or if you're worried about a friend, please help them get the help that they deserve. They don't deserve to feel like that, and they don't deserve to feel like they're the only person that goes through it, because that's not the case. Yeah, that's really it. That's my spiel. Now, without further ado, we'll dive on to this episode, baby. You guys live life in a happy days. Love you. Peace. What is up, everybody? Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for listening. This is Behind the Days. This is episode number 12. All right. Yeah, number 12, guys. Thank you. You guys know how it goes in the intros. I can't say it enough. Thank you guys so much. It really does mean a lot that you guys listen and tune in. If you guys are new, thank you. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoy. If you do like what you're listening to, watching, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's going to be a little card that pops up in one of these corners. I keep trying to point at it, but I always mess it up. So it's going to be in one of these two corners. It's going to pop up a playlist that has all rest of the 11 episodes that we got. If you're listening to this on Spotify, just click the name and you'll see the rest of them. Please comment, share with somebody if you think that they would enjoy it too, or if you listen to it and you're like, oh dude, this made me think of so and so, I'm gonna send them this. That's awesome. It's free. It really means a lot. But that's really it. That's really the intro. That's all we got. So let's dive on into this, baby. Episode number 12. So in high school, right? Last couple episodes, I talked to you guys about my middle school years, right? Well, middle school's over. Let's get on into high school. But before I dive deep into my high school career, because I had 4 years of it, I'm going to take you guys to the summer of freshman year. Okay? It was a good summer. I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm just going to talk about this, just basically my summer. Basically just everything that went on. And the big thing that stands out when I think about my freshman year summer is this trip I went on to Clarksville, Tennessee, somewhere in Tennessee, to see this marching band called the Cavaliers, practice and stuff all day. Because my 8th grade year, I signed up to be in the band in high school. And I know what you guys are probably thinking. Band nerd. That's funny. He's a band nerd. I wouldn't consider myself a band nerd, but there were a bunch of quote unquote band nerds that were in there. But there's a lot of cool people that were in there too. Um, but on this trip, like it was awesome. Like it was really really cool. Like we got to go around. We got to watch like the snare, drum, like pod. We got to watch them play. We got to watch like the bass drums, like do some warm ups. We got to watch the tenors do some things. We got to watch like all their different like exercises and stuff that they do, how they warm up. Um, it was awesome. And then at the end of it, they went through basically everything that they worked on, and it was awesome because I I want to say they got the music like a couple days before we got there, and just like how much they already like figured out like was mind blowing considering like I don't think they were practicing like that much at the time. Like it was just like the start of the season. The trip was awesome. Um, the one thing that made me really nervous was I knew absolutely nobody that I knew of. You know, like I was a freshman, and like all the other people that um, signed up for that trip was like upperclassmen that were like actually on like the drum line, and like I was the only like underclassman there, and I was like, oh man, I don't know anybody. And then like I was just thinking in my head like, who am I gonna talk to? Like what am I gonna do? Like if I don't know anybody, I don't want to just sit there awkwardly like this whole day. And um, like I had like it was yeah, I had no idea. I was freaking out about it a little bit, and then I went to the school, and yeah, so I went to the school, and I got on the bus. I sat down. Like other people came on, and I wasn't paying attention. I was playing on my phone or something, and then I heard a voice, and I was like, dude, that voice sounds familiar. Like I know that voice. Like who is that? Like the dude was older than me, but like I knew him. Like this kid, not kid, this dude, um, used to work at like the same summer camp that I worked at a couple years back, and he was awesome. He was a cool dude. Um, I just forgot that like he played drums. Like I really had no idea, and I didn't think he would be in like the band. So like it threw me off. So like I'm sitting in like the normal school chair, like the school bus chair. You know how they are, the little bench seats. And I look up, and I look back, and I'm like, dude, what's up, Roger? How are you doing, man? I was like I was shocked. I was like, dude, I'm so glad to see you, man. I thought I didn't know anybody. So I moved my happy ass back down there, and I sat with him, talked to him like the whole thing, talked to him like the whole ride there, and then like he was just introducing me to people. Like I got to know the people while I was there, and he asked me one question, and I knew someone was gonna ask me this question, but I just didn't know when it was gonna pop up, right? And he asked me the question, and it was a long explanation, but the question that he asked me was, "Yo, why's your mom with you?" Yeah, I didn't mention this part. My mom came with me for two reasons. One, she thought other parents were gonna be there and like help out. I get that. That's cool. I don't care. But two, that's a little bit more. I gotta go a little bit more deeper into that. Let's just say she didn't trust me, and I'm about to explain to you why that is. So, you know how I talked about 8th grade was over. Well, let's time travel like 2 to 3 weeks before the end of 8th grade year. Okay? School is almost out. Almost out, dude. We had like maybe a month. like less than a month left of school. Okay, that's when that's when it was a disaster. I can't even talk right now, dude. Like, I'm just thinking about it right now, dude. I can remember this day like it was yesterday. Um, it was, yeah, it was a big. I wouldn't say a big because like I didn't really learn my lesson from this, but at that time, like that was the biggest like wake up call I've had up until that point, up until 8th grade year. Like I've had some other little like getting in trouble and like other things, right? But this was like, yo, what are you doing? Are you sure you want to go down this road? All right, so let me dive on into this. Like, okay, so 8th grade, right? 3 to 4 weeks left of school left, and then I'm done. I'm done with middle school. Absolutely done with middle school. Um. Oh, I gotta add this before I dive any deeper. I did add that warning before the episode, but I do gotta do another one just in case. Parents, anybody with little kids in the room, that you don't feel comfortable talking about mature um, content with, get them out, okay? Or you can have them listen, have them do like a learning experience, be like, yo, don't do what he did, okay? It's bad. I will even tell you throughout this, it's bad. I don't recommend it. I just got lucky at the time because I was a minor and, I mean, can't really do much, but I do not recommend it to anybody. I don't care how old you are. If you do, go somewhere where you can. You'll understand that when I go more into it. But with that being said, let's go. Okay, so 8th grade year. I'm in health class. Okay, so the door. Let's say the door is like right here where my hand is. If you're watching this on, sorry, I'm scratching my head. If you're watching this on YouTube, but so I am sitting. When you walk into the room, you walk in from the left side, like kind of diagonal left, okay? So you're walking in, and if you walk straight, you're in the front of the class. When you walk in, I am sitting on the far, if you're looking like I'm the teacher, like if you're looking directly at the class, I am sitting at the second row, 1, 2, 3, fourth seat. There's 5 seats in a row. I'm in the 4th seat, second row, right there. Okay, he had his by last name, alphabetical. But so I'm sitting there. We're learning about the digestive system. The stomach, the intestines, what they do, how important they are to you, what they're used for, all that type of jazz, right? We got about 25 minutes left in the class period, okay? And all of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. Like normally, people just open the door. They don't knock, right? But there's a knock at the classroom door. So my teacher walks over. He opens it up, and he is out there for a little bit. He's just kind of standing there, talking to whoever it is. I can't see who it is, but the person sitting at the far end of my row and the row behind me can kind of peek over, and they see it's the vice principal. He's talking to my teacher. That's fine. Probably like meeting, probably to go over something, probably a teaching plan. So then my teacher walks back in. And then he talks a little bit, he talks a little bit more like nothing ever happens. He walks back to his desk, gets a pen or a pencil, And then he's still talking, and he's walking back up to the front, and then the vice principal opens up the door, and like he just yeah. So he opens up the door, and he's just like, "Hey, Jacob, can I talk to you for a second?" And like in my head, I'm confused. I'm like, I don't know what I do. Like I'm thinking in my head, what I do this time. Like what I get in trouble for now. Like I felt like something was up, but I had no idea what it was. Okay, and he was like, and so I got up and I started walking over to him. He was like, "Hey, just bring your stuff with you," and that threw some like major red flags in my head because now I'm like super confused. I'm like, yo, what's happening right now? Why am I getting talked to you? Why am I bringing my stuff if you just want to talk? Like, what's going on? And while I'm thinking this, like the class and everyone is going like, ooh, like you know how they go. They're like your hype man at the worst possible time. Like they're all freaking out and everything. Like, and you can't just walk out there with like not a smile. When you get your stuff, you kind of gotta look at them, give them a grin, and then just like walk out with the vice principal. Okay, I'm gonna call the vice principal Jerry, just because I don't want to keep saying vice principal. It's simpler. Just want to do a little note right there. So I grab my things, I walk out, and I talk to Jerry. And when I walk out, there's like two little walls that kind of like go past the door a little bit, so it's kind of like a blind spot. And I walk out in like this little cubby of like a doorway, and we walk, and then I turn, and then I see the school resource officer. And now in my head, I am freaking out. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is happening right now? Like, I am absolutely so confused. And they don't say anything. They don't say anything to me. All they say is, you know what this is about. Like, when I ask them, I'm like, hey, what's going on? Jerry's like, oh, you know what this is about. And in my head, I'm like, I tell him, I'm like, no, I don't know what this is about. Can you tell me what this is about? He's like, oh, you know what this is about. Like, no explanation whatsoever. Like, I had no idea what's going on in my head. And while I'm standing there in the hallway, he's like, hey, can I search your backpack real quick? No. And then he asked me again, yo, I'm going to search your backpack. Like, he told me, like, he's going to this time. He didn't really ask. He told. And so he searched my backpack. Didn't find anything, obviously. I don't have anything at school that day, but I didn't have anything at school. So they searched my backpack in the hallway. Nothing. Clean. And so we just walk. I pick up my stuff. I put it back in my backpack. And we walk to my locker. I keep asking him, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Tell me. Nothing. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll just do what they say and just go on with it, right? So we go to my locker. Now, my locker, 8th grade year, was in the worst possible place. It was in the main hallway, right by the library, right in like this commons area. It was like the 10th locker down, and it was convenient for me because it was like right there by all my classes, right there by the band room, so I didn't have to rush like with the stuff and everything, put it all up, get my stuff, and then go to class. But at this time, it was awful because when I got to my locker, they're like, hey, we're going to search your locker now. And like, I'm still so confused in my head. I'm like, okay, that's whatever, search it. You're not going to find anything. So they searched my locker, didn't find anything, took everything out. Like, my locker was a mess, dude. And they took every paper out. They took every book out. They took every gym short out, like every shirt out. They took everything out. Nothing left. And then they're like, okay, pick this up, meet me at my office. So I pick it up. I take my time because obviously I do not want to go to Jerry's office. Like, that is the last place I want to go. I thought about it in my head, just running, leaving, because I lived, like, at that time I lived behind my middle school. So, like, running home would have not been an issue. Like, I could have just darted out, but I didn't. I thought about it. I really did. Because the back door was right there, dude. I could have just left. But, so, I pack up all the stuff, right? And then I walk over. I go to the bathroom. Get a drink of water, and then I go over to Jerry's office. By this time, class was over. Like people were passing me in the hallway while I was putting up my stuff. Like, he told me to meet him at his office when the bell rang. Like, I guess they didn't want to see us together. I guess he didn't want to pimp my style, So yeah, everyone was passing in the hallway, and like people in my health class were like, "Dude, what's going on? I saw you talking to Jerry and the officer. Like what happened?" I was like, "Dude, I have no idea. I'm actually about to go figure this out." And they're like, "Man, I hope the best for you, dude." Great. Now, after I walked into his office, I told the assistant up there at the office, like, "Hey, I'm here to meet Jerry." So I sat in the front, tried to talk to some office attendants. Obviously they didn't talk to me like they normally don't. So I'm just sitting there. She calls Jerry. Jerry's like, "You let him in." So I walk back there. I walk into his office. I shut the door, put my backpack on the chair to the right of me. And I'm like, "So, what's going on? Like, what's up?" And he was like, "Watch this video for me real quick and tell me what you see." So I watch the video. He pressed play on his computer, and it goes to like a little monitor on the wall. So he pressed play. I'm watching it. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing what got captured, and I look at him. He was like, "Do you remember this? Does this look like you?" And then it hit me. 2 weeks ago, 2 kids asked me for 2 grams of weed. Now, this is the part where I say I do not condone. I do not condone, like, selling any illegal substance. If you do want to sell it, go to a state where it's legal. Do it legally. But do not do it when it's illegal, because that is life-changing. It's life-changing for you. If you got family, it's life-changing for them. But I don't recommend it. If you do, just be smart. Like I said, I don't condone it. It is what it is. If you do it, just be smart. Okay? I'm not hating, not judging. Just be smart about it. Because I was not. And I'm about to explain to you what they saw on the TV. So, after he showed me this video, and this video was basically the entire deal from beginning to end. Like, it was me walking up to the 2 homies that I knew Like, I knew these kids. Like, walked up to him. I was like, yo, what's up? He was like, yo, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I got you. And I gave it, like, I threw it in their locker. And then they gave me some money. And then, which that's where I messed up. You don't deliver and then cash at the same. You get the cash first and then you drop off somewhere else. But that's besides the point. Like, so I like all of it. Boom, boom, boom. Transaction happened, and we just went on our merry way. 2 weeks go by, like literally 2 weeks go by, and one of the kids got caught with it at school in his backpack. Yeah, got caught with it at school in his backpack 2 weeks after getting it. Like, my mind's blown when he showed me, because they had the container. Like, they literally, it was a little metal container. It was about yay big. It had a screw-on cap. It didn't smell because it was sealed, and like, they had it all. And dude, honestly, I don't even think it was 2 grams. I think I kind of shorted him, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But like, my my mind was blown. Like, my mind's still blown thinking about it to this day. Like, they had it in their backpack 2 weeks after getting it. Like, what's the point of even getting it then if you're not going to do it that day or like a couple days after? Like, it doesn't stay fresh. It's not candy. Like, you can't buy it and then like 4 weeks later use it unless it's like good. But like, yeah. So he showed me that. He showed me the little container. He showed me like the little test that they did, like the little field test. He was like, "Yes, just test it for marijuana." And I was like, "Cool." I was like, "I know that." And he was like, "So this is what we're gonna do." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "What's the options?" He said, "1, we're gonna call your parents, and they're gonna come get you. You are gonna be expelled here, and you will have to go to the alternative school." Fine. That's fine. Now, don't get me wrong. I was bawling my eyes out at this point. Like, I was not happy. I was pissed off because, like, the guys got caught. And, yeah, I was upset. And they were like, "Yo, who do you want to call? What parent?" And anytime I got in trouble, I would have called my mom. Not this time. I thought to my head, yo, I'm going to call my dad. My dad's going to understand. He's going to, he's going to be mad. Like, they're going to be mad. But I feel like he would have been, more understanding. Like, okay, what can we do? He's going to be just, level-headed, just, okay, what's up? Completely wrong. Completely wrong. When Jerry called my dad, I could hear my dad yelling and cussing on the phone across the table, and it wasn't on speaker. After hearing that, I thought in my head, fuck, should have called my mom. But I feel like her reaction would have been even worse. I feel like if my mom would have got that phone call, a heart attack immediately. You know? But it didn't happen like that. No. I called my dad. And, that was fine. It was fun. He talked to me. He was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Why you doing this stupid shit like this? Huh? What you doing? Like, pissed, fuming, which I get it. I understand that. But so I go back to my locker. I had to repack up all my stuff. Eyes puffy red, tears rolling down my face. People get out of class, like it's passing period. So people are going to be out of their class for like the next 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. People asking me what's wrong. I'm walking down with my head down. Now, guys, I didn't tell you what I had on that day. This makes it 10 times better. Because he told my folks that I was part of the mob. I had on a suit. And, like, dude, I had on a suit. Like, I'm not even, like, I don't even know why. Like, it was just, like, me and, like, my friend group at the time. We all just, like, wanted to dress up one day. Like, we were talking about it. Everyone got a haircut and stuff. And, like, we were going to look good. I wasn't anticipating getting busted for a drug deal that happened 2 weeks prior and me forgetting about it. No, we just wanted to look good. We felt good, we just wanted to look good. And like when after I got all my stuff, I went back. I sat in the office, and then all of a sudden, this lady burst into the office. Bursting. She looks like just like the energy that came off of her at that time was just like Hulk plus like the little red dude from what's that Pixar movie about emotions? I can't think of it. If you guys know, drop it down in the comments. Edit, mental note, pop up a photo of it. That way the viewers on YouTube can see what you're talking about. That way they can help you out. I can't think of it right now. I'm spacing. But anyway, she walks in freaking bursting, dude. Just like a cowboy, like ready for business, guns drawn. Like, who am I shooting right now? Like, means business. And I look up because I'm looking down, dog. Like, I'm defeated. I'm done. I can't. It was enough. This was not expected. Like, my mind is just spinning right now. And then when I hear this commotion, like because like to get into my school, you had to open up one set of doors that would lead you to like a little corridor, and then you had to open like another set to get into the office. So I heard hit my hand on something. So I heard the first bust, and I was like, damn, that was pretty loud. I wonder what that was. And then I heard the bust, the door open to get to the office, and that was even like more strong. Like, that was just like a whoosh, like there was some force behind it. And whenever I heard that, I looked up and I was like, oh god. That was my reaction. Like, that was my facial reaction. I sighed a little bit, like outwardly, and then in my head I was just like, damn. Can you guess who it was? I'll give you a second. I'll give you 1 second. Okay, 1 second's up. It was my mom, yo. My mom was pulling up. My dad was freaking pulling up behind her. And I was like, dude, it's like special treatment right now, you know? I was like, this is crazy. My mind was blown. And, like, yeah, it was a disaster. Jerry talked to my folks. He explained what was going on, what was going to happen, what were our next steps. Um, and he basically was like, yo, your son was acting like he was part of like a mob, like a gangster or something, the way he was dressed today. Um, it's like he got caught selling some weed, and which at this time, I'm not gonna lie, I was at this point in my life, I always found money. Like, I always had money on me. If you ask my folks, I believe they would agree with that. When I was younger, somehow I always found money. Okay. And, but like that day, not expecting it. Like, I had nothing on me. I was clean. I didn't have anything going on. Nothing like that. And, like, it was just a disaster that day. That car ride, though. That car ride was fantastic, dude. We lived 5 minutes from the school. 5 minutes. That car ride felt like in a fucking eternity, dude. It felt like the longest 5 minute car ride of my entire life. Like, it was just mind blowing. Because my dad was behind us. My mom was driving, and she was just talking, griping, talking, talking, as she should. She's being a parent at that time. But in my head, I'm just thinking, oh my God. Oh my God. That's crazy. It was just like in my head, I was just thinking it was just a little bit of like weed. It wasn't like crack or anything. Like, it wasn't bad. I mean, in my head, it wasn't bad. I mean, it's illegal where I'm at, so it is bad. I mean, there's loopholes now, but at the time, it was illegal and still illegal in this state. But, yeah, like, that car ride was a disaster, and I thought the car ride was going to be the worst part. Not even close. Not even close. When I got home, bro, they tore. Tore through my room. You know how, like, they do, like, sweeps in, like, jails and they're, like, in prisons and stuff like that? That's what they did. They went through literally every nook and cranny in my room. They flipped my mattress. They went through everything. Didn't find anything but a little bit of money. But they didn't find anything illegal. Had that at another place. But didn't have anything illegal, because you don't bring what you have to the place you sleep. That's just stupid. That's just asking for people breaking into your crib. Don't do that. Be smart about it. But they tore my room apart, dude. Tore it apart. They looked in the air vents. They looked anywhere and everywhere. They tore through that place. And after they tore through it, dude, it looked like a tornado came through my house, came through my room. And they told me to pick it up. They said, pick it up. We want this. Your room's a mess. Pick it up. We want it straightened. And, that was the start of it. And then after that, like a couple days went by, got signed up for the alternative school. That was great. Not great, but I mean it wasn't bad. It was from like 7 to noon. It was like 4 hours, and you got all the homework for that week in one day. So you could work on everything that whole week, get done, just sit there and do nothing. Like, it was cool, but it sucked. Like, it was so boring. Like, you couldn't move, you couldn't do anything, you couldn't use the bathroom. You could only use the bathroom one time. It sucked. Like, the cool thing is my grandma had to take me. Like, my folks couldn't take me because they had to work. So my grandma took me. And here's a little side story. When I graduated, right? Like, my grandma picked me up, and she took me to a CD store, and she was like, "Because you graduated, because you graduated middle school, I want to get you a CD." And I was like, "Awesome!" I was like, "I think this isn't gonna be like my first CD that I got, but this is gonna be like my first rap CD that I got." And not rap, but from a rapper rap. I mean, it kind of, yeah, it was a rap album. But so it was Drake's Take Care. I wouldn't really consider that like a rap album. So I wouldn't say it was like a rap CD. It was like my first. Yeah, we'll just call it rap. I mean, Drake's a rapper, but I think that genre of Drake was more like R&B slash a little mix of rap. Like, he wasn't fully, like, he still like sang a lot and like everything, and especially on that Take Care album, I think he only has like maybe 3, 4 like actual rap songs on it. All the rest were like singing songs. But that's besides the point. When I graduated this alternative school, my grandma went and took me to a CD place, got me my first CD, first rap CD, and that was it. And then after I graduated, like 2-3 weeks later, the trip happened. Yeah, so all these events were just back to back to back to back, and like, it made me nervous for what was about to come in high school, because in my head I thought people that went to school with me in middle school, 8th grade, would think of me as like a bad person. Not really a bad person, but like a drug dealer, or yeah, a bad influence. I'd say I wouldn't say bad person, but bad influence. I mean, they wouldn't be wrong for thinking that, but that was one thing I was really worried about starting high school. But the whole reason, I mean, that's the whole reason why my mom went with me on the Tennessee trip for the band. I mean, that's the intro to the high school. Your mom going with you on a band trip. It was tight. Like, don't even get me wrong. Like, I'm not even hating that my mom went. Like, it was awesome. I think we still talk about. Actually, I don't think we still talk about it. We laugh about it. She says she thought that other parents were gonna be there. I call BS on that. I think it's just because she wanted to watch me and make sure I was being smart and everything, because what happened in a couple weeks ago in middle school, or like a month or so ago, like that time difference. Because that event was so recent. There you go. That's a better way of saying it. She just wanted to make sure everything was cool. And I understood that. Like, she told me that she was going to come. It's not like she popped it on me. Um, and I agreed. I said, yes, I got to gain your guys' trust again. I understand that. I messed up. But I'm willing to go round 2. This is actually more like round 6. But who's counting, right? Um, but that's how I got to go on that trip because I really wanted to. And she wanted me to go on it. Like, like my parents have always been supportive. Like, I'm not even gonna like deny that. Like, my parents have always been supportive with what I do, as long as I give it 100%. Like, if they know that I'm not really trying, and they see that, they're gonna sit down and be like, "Yo, do you really want to do this, or what's the deal? Why are you not trying?" They'll push you, but if they think you're giving it your all, they're fine. If they're not gonna bug you, they're not gonna do anything. They'll just let you do you, and they'll just keep rooting you on, which is awesome. Like, you can't ask for anything else. Like, it's fantastic. Um, but also on this trip, I got to meet um, my favorite teacher of all time. Like, this teacher, mm, yeah, this teacher. Little does she know, she she helped out a lot in my life in high school. She played a big role. Um, she kept my head on straight. She kept me. She Yeah. She basically just she helped a lot. Like, I got to meet my new music teacher. Like, we had like the band director, but then you had like a percussion only teacher that was like your actual teacher, like in school. And yeah, she was the best. She is probably hands down my favorite teacher. I'm sorry to all my other teachers out there. You guys were good. Um, but what um, this teacher did for me um, at just certain like little like points in my life, like, she inserted herself and gave me advice, and um, even when I didn't even ask for it, dog, she was so blunt and so honest with you. It was like refreshing. Like, that was one thing that like I really enjoyed. That, like, if she told you something, you knew like she meant it. Like, you weren't thinking in the back of your head, "Oh, she just BSing me," like most people. Nah, she meant what she said. Like, if you gotta do better on something, you gotta do better. If she liked what you were doing, shit, she liked what you were doing. Like, having a teacher like that is awesome. And the fact that she was so honest with you, like, to a point, she kept it professional and teacher. With me, she could be a little loose because she understood like how I was as like a kid. Like, don't get me wrong, I gave my music teachers like a lot of challenges. I was a crazy kid, but like, she stuck it out. Like, and that's all you can ask for, really, is have an awesome teacher, have your back, you know, make you actually believe in yourself. Pretty tight, you know? Mm, man, awesome. Getting emotional just talking about it. It's great, you know? Um, yeah. Like, it's not even like sad tear, like sad emotion. It's just awesome that like there's still teachers out there like that. And she's still teaching. She's teaching my cousin right now. So if somehow she hears this, what's up, teacher? Hope you are doing good. I'm doing good. Um, Hopefully I'll see you guys this coming season. Don't give my cousin too much hell. Give him a little bit though. Make him strong. He needs it. Um, but no, guys, this was the start of just like my high school. This is just one incident. Well, really, it's like the summer, but like this summer leads up to um, high school, and I am gonna cut it off here because it is what time is it? I'm looking at my computer right now. It is 12:30. I gotta get up in like 5 hours for work. Um, so I'm going to end it here. Um, but yeah, guys, next couple episodes, I got to think of some good things to talk about with high school because high school was probably the greatest, worst time of my life. You know, like there's a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but it was all worth it. And we're going to dive all into it in the next episodes. Thank you guys. If you guys, yeah, thank you. Don't forget to check out the website. I'm still getting it fixed, but add it to your wish list. Hopefully, you guys get notified whenever I do fix it. Feel free to check out everything on the social media. Right now, we're only rocking Instagram, but I'm trying to get everything else. I think we got Twitter. We just don't use it. But the Instagrams are gonna pop up on the screen if you guys want to go. It's gonna be in the links in the descriptions. YouTube won't let me put links in right now, but Spotify does. So please check those out. I'm gonna run them off real quick. For Happy Days CO, it is at the Real Happy Days Co. on Instagram. For this podcast, it's gonna be Behind the Days Pod on Instagram. And then for the podcast network, you guys can go ahead and follow that. It's not really doing anything right now because it's just me, but that's going to be a bigger project in the near future. You can follow that on Instagram at Happy Days Radio. And then, like I said, check out the website too. Even if you guys don't get anything, please check it out. Tell me what you think. Send me a message on Instagram or something. Tell me what you guys think. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, guys, I love you. You guys go live life in a happy days. Peace out, baby.